all of the updates that I have found. They are significant. There's so much to this story. You guys are going to be flabbergasted.
They were saying that Carmelo came from a bad home environment. Well, Carmelo come from a two-parent household. His parents been married for 17 years.
I just wanted to put this right here because I noticed that a lot of people racist people specifically, were saying that Carmelo Anthony must not have had his father in his life, and his father must be a deadbeat, no good person to raise this thug, and that he must be living in the hood and not living good. So I wanted to share these family photos of Carmelo Anthony with his father, his mother, and his siblings, who actually have been together for over 17 years. His family has been together for over 17 years, okay? One mom, all four kids, same dad, very middle upper class family. Interesting, because I think a lot of racist people were saying that he didn't come from a loving family and that his father was probably in prison or a loser and had abandoned him when he was young because of the stereotypes that you guys hear about black people. The black father must not have been in the home. Well, it seems like his father loves him very much, and it seems like he was raised a good young man, whether you guys like it or not. But you know who came from a broken home? The Metcalf boys came from a broken home because their parents aren't together. And I think the question that I would want to know is, I wonder how coming from a home where the parents aren't together, how that would have affected the twins.
Now, I figure that it must absolutely be true that they are not together, because I've seen a snippet of an interview where Austin and Hunter's father was saying that Austin's girlfriend approached him and told him that he talked about him all the time and how respectful he was to her and how she believed that he had gotten those qualities from him. And I thought, why would his girlfriend tell him what Austin said if they live together and that's his girlfriend, his father, they should know each other the way that let me let you watch the clip so you can see what I mean.
His girlfriend came up to me and said, you know what, he talks about you a lot and he loved you and he treated me with great respect. And he goes, you taught him that, you know.
In addition to that, there's not one interview where the twins' parents are being interviewed together. Not one. Plus, Austin's father said that the football coach called him and told him where Austin was, that Austin had been stabbed. And he said, well, where at? And he told him at the school. If Austin was living with him, he would have automatically known that he was at the school.
It started with a call from his football coach who was not at the track meet and said, I think Austin has been stabbed. And I said, where at? And he said, Kukendall Stadium. And I said, I'm on my way.
And I thought that it was rather strange and funny, and some would even say hypocritical, that his father said this.
I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught?
And he has been raising his twins to be hunters and stalkers, because that's what you do, stalk animals, since they were younger. And did you teach them? Because I would gather that with gaming, there comes a sort of bravado, or there comes a sort of power associated with killing animals that are helpless. Did you teach them, hey, be mindful of bullying. Don't let this get to your head. Did you know that your children were being bullies? I am one to say that I know sometimes we teach our children and they will go astray from what we taught. And there is a chance that the twins' father may not have known that his boys were bullies. But I just really doubted the way that the interviews are so choppy with his mother and all of that. And I'll get to that next. I just really doubt that they did not know that their boys were bullies. But even so, did you teach your boys not to be bullies? Don't let this get to your head. I know you're using guns, you're killing people, but, also be mindful of other people. Don't be... the qualities that you're talking about, did Carmelo Anthony's parents instill in him? Did you, sir, instill that in your boys? See what I'm saying? Now, I can't determine how anyone grieves. However, it's no secret that I was once a Democrat and I was an activist and I was a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. I know many of those who were brutally murdered by police families personally. Breonna Taylor, I know her mother personally. I know George Floyd's family. I know Casey Goodson Jr.'s family, Ma'Khia Bryant. I know these people's family. And there is a look in their eyes when they have lost a child. And there is a cry that you hear that is not like any other. I want you to watch the clip of Austin Metcalf's mom. She's choppy. She's kind of thinking about what she is saying, as opposed to Carmelo Anthony's mother. How her crying is more where she's trying to hold it back, but it's coming out, but she's trying to hold it back.
My son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out what I was going to say, but he's just going to be so missed.
Now check out Carmelo's mom. And again, I can't say how people grieve. This is just something that I recognize being a part of activism and out in the streets and the brown people who have lost their child brutally.
I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us.
What I recognize in being out there and meeting these people who have lost their children, especially brutally, in this, there is an emotion and there is a look in their eyes that, in my opinion, is absent from the twins' mother's eyes and even her voice. Like I said, I can't tell anybody how to grieve, but to me, it sounds like she's thinking about her words, thinking about what she's saying. That's why the interview is so choppy. And then again, in the case of Carmelo Anthony's mother, where she's hurt, she knows her boy's been bullied. She knows that he had to stab that boy to get them. There's two boys on him. What else was he? Couldn't beat him up off of him. He had to grab something. If he would have tried to run, they would have chased. He had to grab something to make them stop. So the only thing that he had was a knife. He probably was carrying that knife everywhere he went. That's what I was thinking. You know, sometimes I keep mace. I got a knife. Everywhere I go, I carry it with me. So he probably had it in his book bag at the track meet, and that was the only thing that he could use. But anyway, the crying, the way that she speaks, you can tell she's holding back, as opposed to the twins' mother and the father. Some ways, is the interview is choppy. Even Hunter's interview is choppy. See what I'm saying?
Carmelo come from a two-parent household. His parents been married for 17 years. They got 4 kids together. You know, ain't no baby daddies, baby mamas, none of that. You know, middle-class family living in Frisco, living the, I guess, the American dream, you know. From all accounts, they raised an upstanding kid. They're saying that Carmelo is a thug.